Jasdeep Singh Degun is a young sitar player and composer. His talent was spotted quite early on, first as a singer, and then he developed into a sitar player. He's here in London to talk about the project he's going to pursue with the Sky Scholarship that he won, which is to make an album which uses Indian classical music and other sounds from the Asian community here in Britain. How did you hear about the Sky Academy Scholarship and what made you apply for it?
I think one of the Indian classical dancers, Akasha Dedra, had won the scholarship, I think maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. So I'd always heard about it in passing from a couple of dancers and friends and stuff like that.
And what are you going to do with the award?
My project is a debut album of contemporary and classical music where sitar is the centerpiece of that.
Have you got a contract with a record company yet?
No, if you know anyone, just give us a shout.
I will do.
Yeah, please do. No, but I've got Nitin Soni as a mentor. Nitin has been one of my idols from day one. I've always looked up to people like him, and I couldn't believe it that they said, oh, we can set up a meeting with him, and then he turns out to be my mentor. So then the chord structure says pretty much the same.
Well, one thing I was going to say was because when you were playing it just then...
My name's Nitin Soni and I'm a composer and producer, and basically I was just asked to be involved with the Sky Academy mentorship programme. Jasdeep's a great musician, you know, who knows his stuff and is very creative and very interesting, and is a seasoned Indian classical player. I thought it'd be good to decontextualise his Indian classical traditions and understanding.
From like sitting here, just so many ideas are like just exploding and stuff. And then it's like, yeah, but where do I take it?
Can you improvise around the same feeling?
Well, yeah, I would normally do that, but
I want to make sure that whatever I show him or whatever I talk to him about complements his abilities and his understanding and maybe enhances it.
So it adds something to... I was playing something that's kind of derived from flamenco, but I'm looking for rhythms that can complement what you're doing. You can actually get into that kind of... It'd be quite interesting to do something like that, to build it to that level, because you can get it kind of mixed with the flamenco feel as well. But then, like end there and then back to.
Did you come from a musical family?
I wouldn't say my mum and dad are not musical. I didn't come from a family who listened to classical music as such.
So what music did you listen to at home?
Bhangra was really big, is still really big in our family and our relatives as well. Any parties we used to go to, that's the only music that's kind of been played.
This is popular music?
Yeah, popular Punjabi music. So my mum and dad are both from India and Punjab. And so Bhangra is an amalgamation between British, Punjabi youngsters mixing beats with kind of folk music from India, basically.
And how did you make this switch to being interested in classical music?
So I started off in primary school. There was some extracurricular classes going on of singing and tabla, and I just got more and more involved, and I just loved the music, and it's just carried on ever since, basically.
But there's this moment where you went as a fine young singer and you discovered that a lot of the orchestra were as good a singer as you were.
No, they were better. They were better.
So you had to do something to earn your keep, really.
Yes, I was part of the National Youth Orchestra, the South Asian National Youth Orchestra, which is called SAMYO. About 6 months into it, I realised, I need to kind of up my game a bit. And I started playing sitar because I wasn't a very good singer.
Sitar was quite a hard choice, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Luckily, I was singing before, so I had an insight into what Indian classical music is. But then to play the sitar is like learning a whole new technique, to sit and practice. These things take time and you can't rush them. I was very lucky to have such a great teacher. So we're at the Bhavan in West Kensington today. I'm playing in a concert with my teacher, Mr. Jasdeep Singh, and one of my colleagues as well, Rupa Panisar. And it's actually my first time playing on stage with them, so it's kind of a big deal.
Did you study music at university?
Yeah, I studied ethnomusicology, which is a fancy word for music, basically.
Do you think that range of music that you were listening to helped your music?
Yeah, definitely. Music is about imbibing I feel people are like sponges. Whatever their surroundings are, you're naturally going to take in that kind of thing.
There was a stage where you went on what you call team competitions. Can you tell us about that?
In the orchestra that I used to be in, we used to go for retreats, but also in the evenings, we were put into like team competitions. The whole orchestra was split up into little groups. We had to put a piece of music together. There's this instrument called the morsing, which is it's a Jaws harp. And one of my friends just said, I can also beatbox with this classical instrument. And I just remember thinking, wow, this is amazing. We can incorporate this into a composition, taking an Indian classical instrument that's not played traditionally, and we've created a whole piece around that. And that's kind of still stuck with me now. But I also like exploring the new ways of approaching that. And that's something that I want to kind of do with my album.